I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
Solving life's mysteries one at a time.
But I'm telling you, there's no way I beat Michael Phelps. He's 6'4" and like 200 pounds, and his reach was always like
6'4" and 200 pounds.
Yeah, but I'm also not in shape. He's gonna beat me just for me. I'm gonna pass out 30 seconds into the first. I'm gonna 3 swings that are all gonna miss, and then I'm gonna be on the canvas. Down goes Scott. He didn't land a blow. He's just fat.
This is Tech Talk on Double T 97.3.
Happy Tuesday. It is Tech Talk here in Double T 97.3. Thank you for joining us. Clint Scott, Dr. Mike Gustafson. Don't get used to him. Brennan Riker here for just a second. And now, stepping in, same exact height, Jimme Cook, long Jim Silver.
James.
Graduating to the big board. That's right. 3 hours with us. Do you know what happens at 6 o'clock tonight, Gus?
I do. This show will end.
This show will end, and we will hand it off for the first time this season to Red Raider men's basketball.
We will.
6 o'clock here on Double T 97.3 or 100.7 The Score. Pick your poison there as they host Lindenwood. The ladies got things off on the right foot with a win over North Carolina A&T last night. We'll tell you about that in the juice. You can hit us up all show long on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. Thoughts, comments, questions, all of that welcome there. You can also call us on the Visual Edge IT hotline. 806-771-0973 is that number. If you would like to watch us, we're on Fox 34 News now and also on YouTube. And if you're looking for our YouTube page, just go to youtube.com/Double T Sports Network. You can also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Just look up Double T 97.3. Gus, how's your Tuesday treating?
It's pretty good. It's this is one of those weeks where you wake up and there's something to look forward to every night. I mean, there is in very general first world terms. You know, going to a roof over our head and that kind of stuff. I don't want to take that kind of stuff for granted, but just.
But now get to the cool stuff.
Yeah, exactly. We earned the right to get to all this other stuff, right? But yeah, last night, Lady Raiders taking care of business. Last night was a 2 TV night and watched the Hokies. You know, inevitably you watch the Hokies just looking for the names and stuff that our daughters told us about. Mm-hmm. And then somewhere in there, there's like, hey, there's Savannah in the background. You got to take a picture of the TV screen, you know, that kind of like this parent stuff.
Yeah, sure.
You know, and then, which is, you know, she's like, whatever, been here, you know, on my second year now, just sitting back here minding my business, looking at the scoreboard, and I'm taking pictures of her, texting it to her like, okay.
She's like, this is ho-hum.
I know. Well, and it was.
Show me something I don't know.
It was like a 4-point game at half, and they had a kid, you know, they were shooting Charleston Southern was shooting 63% from 3 or something, and it was a 4-point game. Like, okay, got a little content. They ended up winning by the Hokies ended up winning by like 35 or something. Like homeboy with the 63% from 3 cooled off, and then it sort of fell apart. So
you always go back to your average eventually.
Exactly, and the Lady Raiders did the same thing, just laid waste to that opponent there late in that game, and so then, you know, just kept working the dial. It was a good 2 thumbs night, and and then we wake up today like it's the hoops opener, right? One day closer to everything this weekend, obviously, which includes a sellout at hoops on Friday. I think we talked about this yesterday. Also a sellout. And yesterday around lunch, I was able to get on the TexasTech.com website, and they were still selling a few tickets for tonight's game. Mm-hmm. I don't know if those are still there or not. I guess we could click on it and look, but both Fridays are done. But I also thought, if I was traveling in from DFW or wherever to watch a football game on Saturday, and you tell me there's hoops on Friday, I'm in. Especially this year, highest preseason ranking we've ever had. Yeah, let's go ahead and hit that game while we're in town.
Oh,
so we got games against Milwaukee, whoever it is, Milwaukee, and they're like Sam Houston and them going, what the bleep did we step into? Like, you're getting the full both barrels here, pal.
You know what I've never understood? Yes, I want a great schedule as much as anybody, and you have a great schedule this year. Hopefully it gets better and better under McCasland as time goes on, and obviously you're trying to get more home and homes. You're going to have one next year when Illinois returns the trip you've been trying to do with Texas A&M. You have, just from the conference you're in, a bunch to choose from, obviously, for good home games in the conference. But I've never understood I'm not going to go to that game. I'm not going to go see that team because you're playing Lindenwood or something like that. I heard that about Oklahoma State for football from a buddy of mine. It's like, okay, so what you're saying is if I have the opportunity, I'm not going to go watch future first rounders, future draft picks, guys that aren't going to be here anymore.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hearing. But yeah, tickets are going fast even for these early rough opponents that are going to be blowouts. But
it's really cool.
Did you watch any college basketball at all last night?
No, I didn't. Not outside of the games I just mentioned to you, but I know I was checking some social at some point along the way, hello there. Arizona's got young Mr. Pete going bananas.
He looked. Yeah, you had a great showing from 3 of the top freshmen last night, but one, the biggest, was the win over Florida because Koa Pete was going off against them.
The Bances over there doing highlight reel stuff. And by the way, Cole Pete, the brother of Lady Raider, Maya Pete. How about that? I remember seeing that name.
She couldn't get Koa over.
I know. I remember seeing that name and seeing the spelling, going, wait a minute, looking that up real quick. That's. Yeah.
Tell you what, some of the bottom end of the conference, though, they had some dicey games.
Yeah.
Including one that was very satisfying to see. I think everyone was a big New Orleans fan last night.
We played them.
I don't care what the Frogs are.
The Red Raiders play New Orleans.
They're 0-1 is what they are. You hate to see it.
I think the Red Raiders play New Orleans the day before Thanksgiving. Isn't that right? Isn't that
the
noon Wednesday game on the day before Thanksgiving?
I don't have their schedule as memorized.
Not yet, right?
Not yet. We'll go back and look at it. I knew Lindenwood was first. I knew Sam Houston's next.
Who's next?
Who's next? That's all we care about. It is Tech Talk and Double T 97.3.
The podcast that finishes your workday in a very Red Raider way. This is the Tech Talk Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Solving life's mysteries one at a time.
Well, what I think about Phil Collins, I think about Tom Brady, because what do we say about Tom Brady? He had 3 different careers, right? So you have Phil Collins in Genesis, you have Phil Collins by himself, and then you have Phil Collins still by himself, but putting out the greatest Disney soundtrack of all time when he wrote everything for Tarzan. So I'm just saying, Phil Collins is Tom Brady of the music world.
This is Tech Talk on Double T 97.3.
Happy Tuesday. It is Tech Talk. Thank you for joining us, making us a part of your Tuesday afternoon. Clint, Gus, and Jimme. Mr. Cook, how are you today?
I'm doing well.
That is a sweet Texas Tech basketball pullover you have there, my friend.
I got it from being a student at a Tech game.
Oh, nice.
You mean it was thrown to you, or just hand them out?
No,
or you stole it?
For staying in line.
Oh, there we go.
Oh.
Yeah, okay. It was one of the giveaways.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
What a sweet thing to hand out.
I thought you meant they were going to
stuff.
walk over there and go, hey, you were such a great fan today. Have a pullover.
I wish.
Today's Tech fan of the day, Jimme Cook. You win this awesome pullover. Are you excited like I am to see the Texas Tech-based College Gameday signs? See who wins the most creative award? Because I am.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, because just how good you are on social media.
Hey,
I'm interested to see what it looks like in sign form.
Speaking of that, we have a little clarity on the Gameday situation. Tweeted in the last hour. We'll be at the site of the old Coliseum, the old green space, and we'll move indoors at 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
move into the stadium. So
Which is awesome. I was
Yep.
hoping that's what they would do, but you never know. And there's a lot of people that were worried about
a
lot of
logistics.
what are you
there.
gonna do as far as splitting the crowd? And I like that. Somebody asked today. I can't remember on the chat line. It wasn't our show. I was just kind of hopping around. Like, what is Texas Tech's plan for this? I was like, well, part of it's the college game day decision. Yeah. Like, you could pitch and scream at the top of your lungs as much as you want, but it's their decision at the end of the day.
ABC pays for the right, or Disney, or however you want to say that, ABC/ESPN pays for the right to say, this is what time it'll be. Now, there are some local logistics that they're obviously working with. They didn't come in and go, and we're going to have it right there in that parking lot. I'm sure there's a lot of collaboration there. But
well, and I know Joey said in his press conference, like this week, he said they have full reign to do whatever.
Whatever. And that was when he was saying that he had reached out to each of the folks individually to say, hey, you got your run of the facility if you need anything. Which that could mean Coach Saban likes to run on the treadmill every morning. Will you come on over? We got a treadmill. That it could be something like that. But then he also hinted at Coach McAfee up there on the rail and then he may have just been throwing that out there as that'd be kind of fun.
Yeah.
But the up there on the rail of the south end zone, with the taking his shirt off, however it was that he said that, made us think, things probably going to move inside. But the troublesome part of it, troublesome's my word, but the difficult part of it is the fact that game starts at 11. Yeah. Last time game day was here, and you go lose your mind from 8 to 11, or back then maybe it was just 9 to 11, and then you got 6 hours to.
You got the rest of the day to lose your mind even more.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. To get in the stadium, do all that other stuff. Well, now this is were they not to move this thing into the stadium during that, there's probably going to be a nice piece or something, and those dudes will hop in a little golf cart or something that'll scurry them over there. And 10 minutes later, there's Coach Saban inside the stadium. But yeah, that'll.
Which also, did they say what part of the stadium?
No,
because I would venture to guess when they do. Here's your story for Texas Tech. Here's how this season came to be. Here's some of the non-actual on the field story that piece. They would do a lot with renovations in the stadium. Yep. And so it would make sense to me to set up where you have that somewhere in the background. That's just me thinking out loud, but
yeah, I would assume that they would set up to where they have a backdrop of the south end zone.
Yeah, but anyways, well, cool. And that's good news, because I think it solves some of the fans that were worried about that. Hopefully that puts that to bed.
Could be corner end zone like Tech was at Utah, which was also an 11 a.m. kick. That was Fox that did that, but because it does get them out of the way of just crowds trying to get to their seats and this and that. But and then as soon as the show ends, you get 15 minutes or whatever to clear the deal and get. I mean, if you can get Rihanna off and on in 15 minutes at the Super Bowl, you ought to be able to get.
Like, it seems like if you're in the northwest corner of the field there, that's like the perfect spot, because you're away from tunnels and you get the backdrop and all of that stuff. But
that'll be interesting. All of that'll be good. I'll have the recorder set to. I want to go sneak a peek at it over at the Coliseum and just see what the scene looks like, just like I did last year with Fox. But then I went home and watched it. Like, I want to go home and watch the thing and just see what it looks like on the TV. But that's why that's why we have DVRs, right, for stuff like this.
Yeah, the premier Game Day show will be outside of the Fraser Alumni Pavilion. However, Optimum Game Day Live will start at 7 a.m.
Well, that's the one you listen to on your way to Game Day. You can get a recap of the high school stuff and all the things.
I am excited. I've heard a lot, of people that are out of town that have, either texted me or texted on the chat line. We're going to be in town for this one, so obviously, if you have time, come by, come say hi to us. We'd love to talk with you. This on the H. Flowing Center chat line, we had a this. I think this is a good this, because it is the Stripe the Stadium photo. Do you like the stripe out?
I'm fine with it.
It looks cool when it's executed well.
Sure, it'll look good. I mean, that stuff will look good on TV. Hey, this is an ABC game, not a Ocho game. So, and we haven't had many games on the Ocho this year because of what the narrative around us and the winning and all that stuff. But, this will probably have some high-level drones flying over it and who knows what all. But that'll look good. That'll look good from the aerial
was surprised
cams. That's why they do that.
I was surprised it wasn't a whiteout, I'll be honest, with the galvanized, as it's called. Right? We got this. Why are we wearing white? Well, this is the Patrick Mahomes jersey, and obviously BYU had to have signed off on this. I don't have a problem with it all. It's the galvanized version of the Patrick Mahomes jersey from last year. I personally I loved the jersey last year because it was a Patrick Mahomes jersey. If it didn't have that logo on it, it wouldn't have been my favorite. But I like this white one a lot more. So,
look good on the tweet.
I mean, obviously Mahomes had a hand in there of what he wanted it to look like, but I don't know what the full percentage though of decision making from him is, because it's not like he was sitting there and he drew it out and all right, I have 5 different options for you guys. They're all here in my drawings.
I would imagine that stuff's just.
But I was surprised the crowd didn't do a whiteout with it. But
right.
Whatever. It's not like I'm angry about it.
May want to be too Penn State-y, right?
Yeah, sure. Jay asked, are we wearing the icy whites on Saturday? Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. It is Tech Talk on Double T 97.3. Back with more next. We'll go back in time.
The podcast that finishes your workday in a very Red Raider way. This is the Tech Talk Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Solving life's mysteries one at a time.
What's the difference between a meme and an animated GIF? What do we got?
Well, a
here?
GIF is moving. A meme is.
So like the smiley face is a meme, or a crybaby face, or whatever,
well,
like those
that's
things?
An emoji.
Oh, damn!
This is
man.
about to.
See,
all right.
There we go. I just know how to use them. I send them all the time.
You will in the whiteboard that's blank. We have some things to.
This is Tech Talk on Double T 97.3.
It is Tech Talk here on Double T 97.3, DoubleTSportsNetwork.com, and the Double T 97.3 mobile app, brought to you by our friends at Happy State Bank. I'm Clint. He's Gus. Across the way, one day we will have a producer's cam. It is Jimme Cook. Long Jim Silvers has our crispy, crunchy, fried fish play of the day.
And that is to Oakley, makes the catch, fumble, and the Red Raiders recover. It is Wisniewski that makes the recovery. And is that Rodriguez that popped it free again? Oh, my.
I picked this play today because Rodriguez is definitely probably one of your best players, if not the best player on your team, I would say, to this point. And that patented smash of the football that he does is one of the best I've ever seen. I don't think I've ever seen anybody do it any better than him. I'm calling it the Stache Smash, but
yeah, Rob put out a Twitter vote with truly atrocious names. I mean, horrible picks. One of them was the Rod Prod. I confronted him about it. I was pretty upset. I've thrown out the J Maker. I think Collier's has my favorite. He called him Rip Rod. That was pretty good.
Yeah, I like it. That's good.
But the Rod Prod was one of the worst things that's ever been tweeted. And I'm going to remind Bro of that every day. I do like the Stache Smash, though.
Well,
that makes sense.
Correct. That was his second forced fumble on the day, and it was pretty beautiful.
You know what I liked about that play, too? It's cool. We have the picture from it as well. Which you can always go to Double T Sports Network to see some of our photo galleries and things like that. So Cole Wisniewski, as you heard in the highlight, or if you remember watching the play, obviously he's who recovers it. Like the first thing he does when he pops up isn't to run to the sideline. And this is just a little thing, and there wouldn't have been anything wrong if he had ran to the sideline and celebrated over there or whatever, or was pumping the crowd up with the ball. I guess your sideline, probably not pumping up the Manhattan crowd with the, look what I got. But he runs over and he finds Jacob Rodriguez and gives him the ball. I thought that was super cool.
Love it. Love it. Love it.
By the way,
it's so, I mean, those fumbles and just the turnover deal this year has been so different from where we've been. And, it's amazing in a team game like that where he's 1/11th of the players on the field on the defensive side of the ball, and yet he's created, a third of the fumbles, maybe more.
And if you haven't cast your vote today, cast your vote for Rodriguez's Heisman. It is on his wife's page on Twitter.
Love it.
Mm-hmm.
So
bingo.
Just go in there and click the link and get to voting.
Speaking of which, since we did round one of headlines, this has come out. Jacob Rodriguez is named as a semifinalist for the Butt Kiss Award. That's also the one we want there, right? So,
yep, that's one of the
shouldn't be shocking, but
that's where it's one of the many things that will. I'm not guaranteeing it, but if we'll finish this thing, when these last three do this deal, the 11-1 team with the defensive player of the year preseason, all that kind of stuff just dovetails nicely into him getting serious consideration for those awards.
The Butt Kisses Award is probably the one that's more likely out of all of them, but yeah, definitely one of the best players on your team.
I wanted to go back to this question. We never really got around to answering it. Squeaky Wheel asked, basically, could we force BYU to be one-dimensional? Even, I don't know, it's hard for me to fully say one-dimensional, even if LJ Martin is. I don't know what his percentage is, like as a baseline for them to go, yep, you're playing, or what he can play through. But even if he's 75%, I mean, can you stop the run? Mm-hmm. Yes, 100%. And Bear Bachmeier is a big part of the run game, but I don't think they're going to come out and just naturally be one-dimensional, because something I've been really impressed with is their play-calling ability, when and where to have Bachmeier have designed runs and when to say, hey, coach him up to scramble. And he's done a little bit of both. And I think he's, it's funny. You don't have to look that far back, Gus, to say mobile quarterback, and everyone kind of just wet themselves hearing that. But, man, you have seen and part of it is how the game is evolving, but it seems like you've seen mobile quarterback after mobile quarterback, and none of them have the exact same skill set. You just saw the fastest with Avery Johnson, and he got a couple pieces, but that's about all he got, and that's about all that offense got. And at the end of the game, clearly you got the better of Avery Johnson. But you're looking at Bear Bachmeier, and he's not as fast as Avery Johnson. He's not as fast as Jalen Daniels. He's way bigger than him. Either of those guys. He's bigger than Devin Dampier. He's more physical than any of those guys. He's 6'2", 220. He's only getting better. I think he's a unique mobile quarterback, but the other thing to remember is maybe other than Jalen Daniels, he might be the best passer of that group. If you're going whose arm has been better more consistently this year between him, Avery Johnson, and Devin Dampier. And Connor Wigman was a mobile quarterback too, but maybe not quite on the level of those other guys. But if you're going Avery Johnson, Devin Dampier, and Bear Bachmeier, who's thrown it the best? I think it's been Bachmeier.
And the thing you hear from our coaching staff talking about him is that the arm strength is there. He can make all the throws. Mm-hmm. This is a big physical kid. He alone is not one-dimensional. Now, Texas Tech at this moment leads the nation in rushing defense. Mm-hmm. We're just a couple of yards ahead of the Texas Longhorns for rush defense. How about that? Of all the things you maybe didn't think you'd hear back in December.
Yeah.
When we were watching the end of last year's version. Because it's something we talked about in the summer. Which one's going to finish higher? Just total ranking offense or defense. But there's still ball to be played. But I think that I would be shocked if BYU. I'm sure BYU is going to try to run and have success on the ground.
Well, that's
I don't
how they
think they're
set
gonna
up
come
their
in here.
offense.
Yeah, exactly. I think they're built to do that, and they're a big physical team, and that they're going to play to their identity. But I don't. The idea, back to the Texas question, is can we make them be one-dimensional? Can we make them deal with a lot of 3rd and 8s and make them get away from what their personality is?
I think part of that is gonna hinge on your offense. What are you doing against their defense?
Yeah, can you speed them up?
Because
can
if
you play
they're
with the lead,
if they're hanging in there, then I think that they're going to try to stick with their identity. But if you go up by 10 points or so, if you do what you did against Kansas State, and this is what you've done, right? This is why you've been blowing teams out for the most part by the end, is eventually, outside of Arizona State, you've gotten teams to that point where they're doing things that they don't want to offensively. And I absolutely think you can do that this week against BYU. I think you could blow out the Cougars. I also think they could hang tough for a while in this game, but just you at home, man, really, really, really like you in this matchup. We'll talk about that more on the other side, including some top 10 stats in the country. It's Tech Talk on Double T 97.3.
The podcast put together with Red Raider fans in mind. This is the Tech Talk Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
That guy's a puny little weenie boy.
Solving life's mysteries one at a time.
When I go to the restroom after having a few pops in my acid washed overalls, when I go into that restroom after about 10 beers, urinal to the floor, I'm going pants down to the ankles.
Hey there, Mr. Wiener. What do you know? Do you need to tinkle tinkle? Yes, I do think so.
This is Tech Talk on Double T 97.3.
It is Tech Talk on Double T 97.3. Clint, Gus, and Jimme Cook behind the glass taking care of us. We will jump back to the Yates Flooring Center chat line in just a moment. But first, let's tell you. Look at him. He's ready to click it. What's going on?
And so I wake in the morning and I step outside and I take a deep breath and I get real high and I scream from the top of my lungs, what's going on? And I say, hey, hey, hey. I said, hey, what's going on? And I said,
Gus, you seem like somebody that craves attention.
Oh,
right? Is that accurate? You have to you walk in and you have to light up the room.
Thrive on it. Sure.
You need all eyes on you.
All eyes on me.
Christy.
What up, Pac? What up, Gus? Go ahead.
All eyes on me. Christy Hosier is you guys could be friends. A 27-year-old woman is in a lot of trouble, and I don't know a lot of the dumb criminals that we have on here. I don't know if she understands just how much trouble she's in, or how much she could be when she was doing just a very, very dumb thing. Obviously, we just had Halloween. I have enjoyed the Halloween memes. We're teaching you about memes, right? The different memes, like check your candy bars. I found a Kansas State Wildcat in there, or something like that. Like something that's not actually going to be obviously in a candy bar, but doing that joke. But it started because like stuff like that has happened before. Evil people in the world have been dumb and put things in popcorn balls and apples and stupid stuff, unfortunately.
Yep. Ruining it for everybody.
Christy Hosier went on Facebook on Halloween and claimed she found a small sewing needle in candy that was collected during trick-or-treating. So not great, number one. And then just to double down, Gus, she called the police and formally reported the incident. I bet you can guess what the problem here is. That's right. Christy Hosier made the whole thing up. She placed the needle in the candy herself, took a picture of it. She had not even been trick-or-treating in the neighborhood she claimed to have gone. Christy was charged with falsely reporting an incident, and it's unclear why she did it. This is where I'm guessing attention. Attention. She wasn't the only one either. I'll give you these states, not the guess the state. She wasn't the only one. There are also reports of sewing needles being discovered inside packs of gummy bears in Rockville, Maryland. That was a hoax. The incident was blamed on a 9-year-old who apparently admitted to doing it inside their home. The child's parents found the needles while checking the Halloween candy with a magnet as a precaution. And there's several, apparently this is becoming a trend, several similar stories online from different areas that have been proven false. So stop, just don't do that. Don't do that.
Come on.
Where's Christy from? Where's the pick me girl from?
Florida, Clint. You ought to know that.
Jimme?
I'm gonna say New York.
We got Des Moines on the chat line. Hosier, gotta be Minnesota. We got that guess on the chat line. Jimmy Cook stepping in, batting 1,000.
Hey, baby.
We were looking for New York. Does he know where the celebrate button is for himself? There it is. Well done. Unfortunately, she's in for a very rude awakening of falsely reporting this. All right, there you go. Don't be dumb. This on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. Clint wants a bear hug. No thanks. Bullfighter asked how many wasp shots we taken with old Pat Mack this weekend, Gus.
Wasp shot? Is that what I heard? Was that what you said? I don't know what that is. What is that?
I'm assuming that's just like a scorpion shot, but like a wasp in there instead. An old bug shot.
Oh.
You're a big bug shot guy.
Can I guess at who sent that in?
Well, I said it.
No, I didn't hear you. I don't listen to you, Clint.
That's fair.
Keep going.
It was from Bullfighter. Yeah.
Oh. You got a thing with the bug thing. Get the bug thing. He's hammered away at the bug shot thing.
I think you should just take one and get it over with.
I know, he should.
You should.
No.
Resident Aggie said, Dr. Gus, a jacket and a quart Gatorade bottle will fix the having to go to the urinal issue. That's what I was trying to pitch. Yeah.
I know, I'm not doing that. But I hear you. Thank you for the advice. We'll just like a little, well, never mind.
No, keep going.
Keep
going. You started it.
How about that
You
pit
even
bull?
got into a hand motion there.
Pit bulls. Yeah. No, I didn't.
What were you about to charade over there?
How about the pit bull stadium thing? Is that still working out?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah. And this is how we'll end hour number 2 on the chat line. All you have to do to be called old is know any information about the past that isn't being talked about on X currently. That seems about right.
I'm old and my feet hurt.
True. Hour number 3 coming up next. It's Tech Talk Double T 97.3.
The podcast put together with Red Raider fans in mind. This is the Tech Talk Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Solving life's mysteries one at a time.
You know, it's a correct call, whatever. You know, it's kind of the deal when you're getting off the line and Bradley grabs him and just throws him. And I'm thinking, that guy's a puny little weenie boy over there.
This is Tech Talk on Double T 97.3.
It is Tech Talk here on Double T 97.3, DoubleTSportsNetwork.com, and the Double T 97.3 mobile app, brought to you by Happy State Bank. Ask Tech Talk will be in 15 minutes from now. 30 more minutes with us as we go to 6 o'clock. I'll get to that basketball question that I have here in just a moment. First, we had this. Kobe had this on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. Have you all seen or talked about the Matty Ortiz GoFundMe stuff? BYU fans started sharing it around, and it went from $5,000 to $40,000 last I checked, and Kirk Herbstreit even donated $5,000. Yeah, this is a sad situation, but, you know, good people doing good things here. So that is the barber, Ivan Ortiz, there for Texas Tech football. Matty Ortiz is his wife. She was critically injured in a devastating car accident. It's how it's labeled. That was caused by a drunk driver on October 16th. So severe injuries, long road to recovery, awful situation. Yeah, that's being shared around. You should be, you know, if you just look up anything like that with Ivan Ortiz or Matty Ortiz, should be able to find it pretty easy. It's floating around there. But yeah, the if you're into college football hate week, BYU's making it very difficult, which is a good thing. Very, very good thing. So no, we haven't talked about that, Kobe. I'm glad you brought it up. Anyways, there's a heads up if you're interested in partaking in that.
Yeah, well, most of what you hear around the games there, they're going to be loud and get after you, but it's not a, you know, it's not a untoward environment. How's that?
Yeah, and I don't know if you don't know how GoFundMe works, where you set a goal.
Don't think of them as passive. Yeah,
sure.
Go ahead. Sorry.
You set a goal, and they set that goal at 25,000, and they're thankfully crushing that in. So,
Great.
Yeah, awesome stuff. Here's my question for you. A very anticipated season starts tonight.
Basketball season.
Basketball.
Yeah.
I don't know how much we'll learn tonight. It's hard to ever learn much when you're playing, you know, a Lindenwood type team, and this is this is how you start a season. This is what everybody does. But who do you think at this stage, before we've played a game, who do you think we haven't talked about enough that we'll look back and like, man, we should have discussed them more in the offseason?
Maybe Jalen Petty.
Yeah.
Freshman. Even though he's gotten his due, but he's he's gotten his due as being maybe the premier freshman in this class, but starting to hear things leak out or drift out that were this could be this year's Christian Anderson.
Yeah, when you hear
you kind of go, whoa, yeah. So that'd be one. Maybe Bamboye would be the other one, just because the if this team is defensively all they are, I think, hopeful of being, and he's the big dude in the middle that makes us think back to 2019, then
yeah, he should be a ridiculous rim protector for you.
You got it. And so, now that said, he's going to be off to a slow start. I don't even know. I think he was in a boot or knee. I don't know what he's dealing with, but he's been slow to practice, and so we may not get the best version of him for a while. Yeah. He may be one of those guys that we're sitting around in mid-December going, hey, I thought Mboye guy was our guy, and then he gets it together just as we had last year with some guys getting healthy and coming on and getting their rhythm through practice, and just all of a sudden you get into Big 12 play, and it's like, whoa, this is a different animal.
Because it feels like you have Mosley and Aquintock kind of as wild cards this year, where you feel like you're going to need Bamboye as a producer on some level, even if it's just a defensive producer. But I'm with you. I might take two guys who are going to get at least starters minutes, if not both, in the starting lineup. Because I'm not sure if we've talked about Tyree Bryan or Donovan Atwell near enough, at least to what they're going to be leaned on, because those are experienced guys. They've got a ton of starts. They're both jumping up a level, but they're immediately going to be asked as outside threats and long defenders and being perimeter defenders in a league that is infamous for just being tough on guards because tough guards are everywhere. I'm not sure if we've discussed just how important it is that those guys have at least good seasons. Because if they're going to be your consistent night in, night out, at least one of them needs to be a spot-up shooter as far as someone that's consistently hitting shots. You would think down the line they're going to be asked, even if it's, Tyree Bryan only has 6 points tonight, but when we drop that corner three in a big game against Iowa State, he's going to be able to knock it down. And so I just think that those guys have been a little bit overshadowed because of, one, what you were bringing back with JT Toppin and Christian Anderson. We know that you were building this team around those two guys. But then also Lawan Watts, he's got in a lot of people's minds, maybe not a one-for-one player comp. It's always hard to have that, but the one-for-one role from Darian Williams who left.
Right.
And so I feel like those two guys have just been a little bit lost in the shuffle, but their importance has not.
Yeah, it felt like the Watts, Bryan, Atwell commits were all in a cluster together in a way that we're like, those three are similar.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't Bamboe, this rim protector, like similar size, good shooters, all of that. But within that three, it felt like Watts overshadowed them.
Mm-hmm.
And for whatever reason, it may be simply that there's some upside there. We don't know, but we'll see. But
and those guys have combined for 355 career threes, Gus.
I know.
And both of them career 40% shooters behind the arc.
And they're all 6'4", 6'5". These aren't little dudes. Yeah, this is exciting.
Sorry, I lied. Tyree Bryan Donovan Atwell only a career 39.3% shooter behind the arc. My bad.
Well, Bryan and Atwell are one-and-done guys. Lawan Watts has 2 years left, so these are all older dudes that should be, expected to step in and contribute. I think that was the idea behind bringing them in. We can talk a little bit more about this team and this season. We'll have plenty of time to do that, but there is a key point I'd like to make about this basketball team when we come back.
You know what's funny is you look at how good both of those guys are behind the arc. Donovan Atwell, he's a 90-plus free throw shooter, but Tyree Bryan, he's kind of one of those odd players, really good behind the arc. A little bit left to desire from the free throw line. It is Tech Talk and Double T 97.3.
This has been the Tech Talk Podcast, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Check out our library of Double T 97.3 podcasts at doublet97.3.com.